argue that, I made it a point, right, to get the PD aware of what's going on. And I never had to directly take action because I was
Hello,
still
fucking Kyle.
info gathering, right? Because I'm going to say something, and this might be an unpopular opinion. Suspension pending investigations, dog shit. Why would you want to suspend someone pending an investigation when you could monitor them and keep an eye on them? All right, it's kind of like dumb, right? It's if you don't believe that they intend to hurt anyone else, then you have like this you're operating in good faith by letting them maintain their status, but you're doing a deep dive and you're only using it to gain more information either, because on the off chance something does happen or they talk to somebody or they encounter people on a scene, it made my job 10 times easier. And then once everything was done, it was simple. I got the high command together. Ruby worked with me a lot in this stuff. The sergeants, I'd hand off all the information to them, get them up to speed on everything. Be like, hey, this is in your guys' hands now. Keep me updated on what's going on. And they did. And they took action immediately. And that's just my opinion on how it is to work with people, even though you're oversight. Because at this point in time, right, I'm treated, you know what? I might as well just be in the besties, because that's how I'm treated. I might as well just be Robin Banks. Again.
I don't know about that one. I think that's a bit of an extreme.
Well, here's the thing this is the thing that bothers me. It's not like I'm a senior officer. All right, I am the chief of police. Unfortunately, you're going to have to work with me. Just like how I'm going to have to work with Brian Knight, and I attempt to work with Sheriff Frost. I attempt to work with these people. Now, I will say I haven't been attempting to work with Brian Knight because I told him exactly what I've wanted 100 times. Hey, man, when something's going on, why don't you just give me a phone call or organize a meeting with me and we'll sit down and have a discussion. We're going on like 2 months now of this guy refusing to talk with me and engage with me in conversation. So we can sit here and say Kyle Pred's martial locked. We can sit here and we can say Kyle Pred is the problem. All right, but I assure you, I have tried several times. I have voiced this tonight several times. What the only thing is that I need, and that's just transparency, a willingness to work together, and to communicate with me when it's necessary.
I will say, to what Kyle is saying, despite all the issues that I personally had with the marshals and all the bullshit, they always filled me in. So that's I can understand Kyle's frustration with that.
Exactly.
And it went to the point where they would allow us to do our internal investigation before they, or in tandem with them. There was never a point where I didn't know what was going on with my own officers as far as the marshals were concerned. So I would be pissed off if I was Kyle.
I think the interesting bit wasn't the whole thing of Brian going to the marshals like nothing is essentially going to be behind closed doors. Like,
yeah, and it's all behind closed doors because, all right, listen, I'm going to tell you how people operate. All right. If I wanted to manipulate a scenario and justify a function, it is very easy in this town. All right. Because information normally, not everybody tries to get every single side of every single story. All right. So it's real easy to get a few key things that maybe happen that might be wrong, that might not even be 100% truthful. Make certain parties aware of that. And then what you're doing is you're building yourself up on the backs of others while pushing everybody else down. All right. Frost is a subservient little pussy who's getting his department picked clean by Daddy Knight. All right. And I refuse to do the same fucking thing. I want to operate as equals, but I am willing to let them supersede me when it truly is necessary. I have no problem with that. As long as they communicate with me, I have no problem with them doing their jobs. But the fact is that these people avoid me go around me, talk to everybody but me, I'm available a lot. These people know my availability. I've had the same availability for almost 9 years. Okay. So these people are actually making an effort to go around me. And I'm the chief of fucking police. And then Ruth wants to throw little jabs at me saying, I guess you're not informed. You want to know why I'm not informed? Is because you guys pull me aside maybe once a month. I tell you, hey, I wish we could just communicate more. And then they don't communicate with me. Do you see why it is maddening and frustrating? All right, I am not making this up. This is what's happening.
Fred, okay, hear me out here, right? I think
Sure.
I know you quite well, right?
100%
I
you
also know that you will die on the hill of defending someone in the LSPD, right? Like, oftentimes,
Yeah, but
I'm not
going
gonna
to point I can't defend. Like,
Well,
I can't defend this Carmine Bobby
I agree.
shit.
I agree. I
They
agree.
needed to be
But-
suspended right then and there.
But what happens is, I haven't even been present for a single one of these conversations with the marshals. Okay, I just know that when I'm speaking.
Oh my God, they're skipping you too.
No, no.
Oh
When
my
Fred,
God.
whenever I have a conversation with the marshals, it's always fruitful. Okay, what happens? I'm assuming, just based on me knowing you, Pred, is anytime something comes up, either number one, they do call you and you immediately go into LSPD defense mode. Reasonable.
It's my job.
I know, that's why I say it's reasonable, but also understand that regardless of that, you are going to be perceived as a dick. Like, there's no getting past that, right?
Of course I am.
Or alternatively, if it's not them approaching you, it's they know what your response is going to be. There isn't going to be a fruitful conversation, so they're skipping it. And while I don't agree with that, at the end of the day, if your response is going to be the same, which is the defense of the LSPD, as it should be, asterisk, within reason, at the end of the day, they know they're not going to get anywhere with you because you are going to yell and scream.
Hold on. Of course I'm going to yell and scream. Of course I'm going to poke holes in.
I understand.
But if they have PC, they have PC. That's different.
I
Right?
agree.
If they have probable cause, then guess what?
I agree. But
Hey,
Pred, do you
you
not
got 'em.
think Brian
But I'm
isn't
still gonna poke
whispering?
holes in it.
Do you not think Brian Knight isn't whispering into all of the ears saying, well, you can try to say that to Pred. He's not going to listen.
I don't know. I just don't think like I agree with you, Rhodes. That's probably the reason, but I also just don't think like that's a good enough excuse. You know, it's
Okay.
literally their job to
Bingo.
inform the leader of that department what is going on, regardless of what they expect the outcome to be. You know,
I agree, right? And King, I believe King was here from the start. Maybe Davenport.
kind of seems
when-
negligent.
when
on their
Ruth
point, on their
was
part.
explaining this to me, she said very clearly she was trying to tell Pred, and Pred said, I'm not doing your job for you. Read the report for me.
No.
Hold on,
What
pause. That's
that
not what
was
happened.
out of context. That was very out of context. They were demanding immediate statements from the chief about Isvaldo thing, about what he said. They're like, we demand your immediate statement. And right now, I'm throwing a recording down. And then she just threw a recording down. And then the chief went over there and turned the recording off. And then she threatened to charge him for obstruction of justice.
And then I told her to
Immediately.
do it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say this as well. I think you guys are playing very strongly into their hands, especially if there may be some kind of ACR on the table. I mean, if you look at the questions that are put forward to you guys in High Command about this, some of them are directly about Pred itself. Some of them are directly about what High Command has done, what High Command hasn't done, etc. It's very clear what they're trying to do. I think you guys need to be very, very careful.
I mean, listen, the ACR at the end of the day actually, Fred, the additional problem exists that they're going to take this as like we attempted, you didn't follow through, and that's going to meet the threshold for the ACR of, like a good
But
faith
hold on,
attempt.
Pause. I do also operate right now under the good faith belief that they don't give a shit and will try and are trying to push me into some scope for arrest. I have rights.
I agree,
right?
Pred.
All they had to do, do you know what all they had to do was? This is all they had to do. Call me up. Hey, Pred, how you doing? Yeah, this is blah blah. Hey, I'd love to sit down and have a talk with you about some stuff going on. I'd like maybe you could answer some questions. You know what I would say? Gladly. I will come meet you wherever you want me to, and we will sit down and we will converse. That hasn't been done once.
But Pred,
not once.
The loud, obnoxious, oftentimes nature of you just wants to get the last word. Pred, you cannot write for a report. I will not be writing my report as I'm the chief of police and don't have to. This is directed towards recruit.
I saw that statement.
Listen, it might seem small at the end of the day. However, that is all going to contribute to the overarching, like, he's not operating in good faith.
Yep.
And whether you like it or not, in the moment, yes, you can sit there and deny it, right? You can do all of these different things, but the case is just going to get larger. It's going to become like, that on its own, not the biggest deal. But when it happens over and over and over and over and over, they are going to do it. It's only a matter of time.
Counter-argument.
What's the counter argument?
The counter argument is that they never came to me to try and rectify it. Yeah, what are they going to do? ACR me? Their job is to, like, literally come to me and try and solve issues. All right, if they ACR me, it just proves that I was right and they're operating vindictively trying to fuck me. Listen, all I want is a little attention. I'm a bit of a diva.
Yeah.
Right? All I want is them to call me up and say, hey, you know what, Pred? I'd love to sit down with you and talk with you about this. And you want to know something? If they did something as basic as that, I'd give them everything they fucking want.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. Would I be an asshole about it? Of course.
Absolutely.
But I would still.
Par for the course.
That's the toll they have to pay. They have to play my little game.
See,
and then I'll give them everything.
Pred, I would agree.
Statements, interviews, whatever.
But when they are legislatively like above us, like, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately, in the moment you can do those things, but they will hold that against you. Pred, let me try to put something into perspective here. I'm gonna ask everyone on the table, if you know Martha, whether or not any of y'all have ever had, I don't necessarily want to say a bad experience with Martha, but we'll say like a negative leaning encounter with Martha. If you have, put your hands up. Jeb, what would that be?
I don't like her British accent, so I
Okay.
just...
Okay.
First off, she's Cockney, uncultured fuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
True.
And
Valid.
Moss?
She was trying to pour tea, like hot tea, on Bongo. It was very odd.
British thing.
Trying to pour hot tea on the dog.
Yeah. He seemed like really, like Bongo seemed
Sorry,
like
Beth.
nervous about the whole
You're good.
thing. He did not want to be
King,
around Martha.
Is it
Honestly,
common?
I changed my mind. I like Martha now.
King,
What's
is
up?
it common for people to pour hot tea on pouring hot tea or feeding, or not, like, letting them drink tea?
No, she had some food and drinks for Bongo, and she was like, "I'll just pour it on his face," and I was like, "I don't think so."
Okay. Right, did you hold your hand up?
No, I didn't. I don't have any issues with Martha. It's just sounds like a lot of her problems would be solved if she just, I don't know, became a cop.
Okay. But Pred, when Martha consistently says, "That's not what I want," you can't brute force someone into wanting to become a police officer. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I mean,
some of the responsibility,
wants to do all the cop stuff, but
well,
doesn't want to be a cop.
here's the thing. She can still be utilized as a solid resource or asset for the police department, right?
I wish she would just get the fridge filled every once in a while on top of it.
She does.
Pred, this is what I'm talking about. Of the people who have raised their hands, one of them has changed their mind, and the other did it because they were apparently she said she was gonna pour hot tea on bongo or something, right?
Should have got him some chocolates too.
Yeah, that's
But I will,
we don't.
what
That's
I will
not
say
common, by the
about
way. It's
Martha
not-
is
Okay.
that Dee has expressed to me multiple times that she was very helpful with his
Yeah, she is.
a vehicle seizure
Yep.
docket case.
Yeah, again, incredible asset, right? But in the conversation that Pred and I were having with Martha, Pred could not let it get past him that Martha did not want to be police. Martha will tell you to your face whether she likes you, whether she doesn't like you, what issues she has with you, whether or not she wants something. Okay? And when someone is so clearly saying, I do not want to be a police officer, I don't want a gun, I don't want to be in uniform, these are things that we can accommodate for someone who isn't going to be public facing, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal. However,
Well, she still would have to be listed on the
Pred
reports.
lacks the tact to speak to someone sometimes, especially when it's a little more delicate than someone who's going to be willing to sit there and take the yelling. Martha is not that person at all, okay? The point I'm trying to make here is
It
that
sounded like she wanted to be a cop.
Well, it does sound like she wants to be a cop, to be honest.
well,
she just
no.
doesn't want to be a cop.
Thank
no,
you, Jeb.
there's no cop there's no cop aspect. Again, I've already said that there are aspects of it that are definitely cop stuff, but she doesn't want any public facing stuff. Any. You look at anyone's profile, there's a number there probably posted by Martha with a photo of it and timestamped. She goes through the lemon list every single day, copies every lemon list ad that anybody's put up since, I would assume, May of this year, March, May, I don't know, either one of those two. And one of the whole issues was that Martha isn't around during shift 2. And the expectation was that Martha put up all of this information somewhere, like an Excel sheet that's easily available for people to access. However, the moment that's done, no one speaks to Martha. No one's going to talk to Martha in the fucking slightest. So her only request was, at the end of the day, like, this information is
Hold on.
otherwise...
Just real quick, what is this thing on Twitter from Pilbus? Did they kidnap a bunch of people from
Yeah.
the mayor's office?
Yeah, that's why.
Wait, hold on.
King
Is that
was-
going on?
it
Hold
shows
on. Is
that.
it? Hold on. What's
The
going
status
on?
of BCSO.
That's going on right now. I just got on the frequency to make sure people are responding. The marshal's there, BCSO are there.
In a zoo.
Okay.
Where's the zoo at?
Down the road.
We
Down the road from the BCSO.
are currently on
Okay, okay. I'll
channel
get some
for
units
the
in
scene
route.
at BCSO. There
Is this technically human
Thanks, Welsh.
trafficking if
Two
they're
individuals
forcing
Yeah,
them to
inside
be
of the
Probably,
like?
building.
probably.
There are no weapons being brandished, but the
Is
doors
the
are locked.
situation being
We
handled?
can't get in.
Check the whole building.
So they got a door locked.
You
There's
guys
no
have enough
weapons.
units on
It's on
scene?
channel 1.
A firm.
We got enough units on
Perfect. I'm
scene.
just if you need, I'll be monitoring radio. So if
That
you need
seems
more,
like
just
it's
let us know.
taken
We've
care
got a
of.
bunch of missions ready.
I'm
Do
so
not-
sorry to interrupt.
No,
Yeah,
you're
no,
good.
King was on it. I checked too. I made sure.
You're good.
Thank you.
The whole thing is
Thought it was
Martha
my zoo. That was
Martha
about to
doesn't
not
want to
look good for
be
me.
this resource that no one speaks to, because everything's easily available. So her only request is if someone needs information, put a request on a report. The following day, the next time she's around, it'll be fulfilled. The alternative is, if Martha isn't around doing these things, this information is not available at all, like in the slightest, right? So it's like an additional resource. And yes, for shift 2, when she's not around, there might be a delay. It's not that big of a deal when, again, the alternative is nothing. But again, the whole thing being, Pred was just like, well, you could become a police officer, despite the fact that on several occasions throughout the conversation, she said that's not what I want. She just wants to help. She'll put stuff together. She's not going to be prosecuting cases.
I mean, but I even offered to give her. I mean, well, here's the thing, right? The reason why it would have been best for her to be a cop is because we're going to have to list her on these reports anyway, because we have to, She has to be listed on them as the information provider and shit like that. And on top of that, we could put her, it would be easier for us to be like, to tell other PD members, hey, she's PD trained, but we're slotting her into this, this kind of role, like detective type of role to assist with cases and stuff like that and information gathering. People aren't going to take her seriously if we're taking the office administrator and slotting them into this investigation role. It was all because, listen, at the end of the day, sometimes in life, we have to unfortunately do things that we may not want to do. We do that every day. We do that every day. One of the main reasons why Ruth's having, I mean, not Ruth, Ruth Lock. One of the main reasons why Martha isn't utilized fully to her potential is because of the simple fact that she's not a cop. And I kept on trying to tell her, becoming a cop solves all this and makes our job 10 times easier. We can give you everything that you want. And then if someone's not willing to do something as basic as make a step for me, why the fuck would I take 10 for them? Because we have other people, you know, that need our attention, that are going to like understand the path that we're trying to set them on. Martha's my ride or die. Martha was riding with me in the trenches when I was on my like in the come up to being the mayor of Blaine County. All right, she's been with me. I care about her a lot. But I also, it's just, you know, we have to do things at least somewhat of a right way.
While I agree, Pred, and it's why nothing has been like, you know, official. Again, when you're talking to these people, and I believe this to be true of when you're speaking with the marshals, you lack tact. That is it. Like, end of story.
I feel like I'm upfront though with what I want. Though.
You are 100%. No one can sit there and deny that. I am 100% on board with you. But when you become, I don't necessarily want to say unapproachable. It isn't surprising that people don't want to speak to you, even if they have to.
Unfortunately for them,
I know.
Chief of police.
I know.
Hey, sometimes,
but I'm telling you why these things happen. It's why you can have a conversation with Ruth and it go one way, and I can have a conversation with Ruth and it be a completely opposite.
Well, then here's the median thing, because they don't even try and do this. All right, if I'm so unapproachable by these people, could they at least approach you more often and fill you in, and then you could just tell me and share the reports with me? If that's how it's got to be, I mean, at least then the ball will be rolling. Sure, I still won't be happy about it because I'm being sidestepped, which I've never done to anybody in life, and I think is egregious, especially to sidestep the goddamn police chief. I just keep on having flashbacks like I was in fucking Nam to Charlotte Spade investigating me when I was in the mayor's office, and these people didn't interview me one time, and then when I laughed in their fucking faces after I won that court case, it felt so damn good. Oh man,
tell you what, listen,
best feeling of my life.
Leave it up to me. Oh, sorry, I want to hear about the best part of your life. Go on. Sorry.
The best part of my life was when I won that case where I did. You know what? I did buy a grow up. You know what? I did buy a grow up, paid a little extra money with the mayor's office money. All right, I did do that. I did that. And I beat them still because they wouldn't interview me once. All they had to do was interview me a couple times. I probably would have slipped up eventually. All right. I mean, fuck, they couldn't even get charges to stick on me when I embezzled a jetpack, flew it into their fucking meeting room and said, hey, look, what I embezzled with my funds.
Oh my God.
And
it's really crazy how you got away with all this. Like, so much stuff.
And then I won $1 million last night in court. Listen, I cannot be beat. Court is my
Actually,
domain.
Pred, I have bad news for you. You have been beaten by the state. They're holding on to your $10 million jetpack.
Oh, 11 roads? It's 11 million?
Sorry.
And first off, fuck them. Okay? I pulled off the biggest heist. They don't get to reverse the heist on me. They didn't even give me the helicopter. Oh, yeah, $11 million jetpacks give you a fucking $4 million helicopter. Literally, who are these people? Who are they? They should be shot.
Listen, I do not
shut
mind. I do not mind being the go-to person. The only thing I cannot accommodate is shift 2 stuff. Simply put, I can almost never be around for 2. 3 and 1, not an issue. But 2 is just not a possibility. And I know a lot of things happen.
Opal, how do you feel about these people?
Shift 2? Oh no.
Well, all the
Anyways.
shift 2 and the marsh. How do you feel about all these people? Because you're like you're a woman that gets around, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Whoa.
I mean that.
Whoa.
Fred, remember what I
Hey,
said
yo.
about lacking tact?
But I mean she's she's in shift 2. She she lets the marshals hop onto her cases out of pity. She does.
I put
Every
$1 million,
single one of their.
by the way, 91 and a half days smoking that Salus Moreno pack.
Good job.
Oof.
Nice. Good shit.
Great job, Opal. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sure.
Honestly, you make me proud. And I won't tell anybody what you said inside of that Carcerway courtroom because of how proud you're making me.
Come on.
Because that was wild.
Wait, now I want to know.
He just said he wouldn't tell.
I can't tell you. I'll tell you in private.
What?
It's the ass chief. He's my partner.
Oh, but listen. I don't worry. I don't want to hear it unless it comes from you.
Thank you. I won't.
It was wild. It was
Really?
wild. Not many things I think is wild, but that was wild.
I've said wilder things before. It's really not that crazy.
I don't know. For this town,
You know, I'm kind of
Yeah,
concerned.
she's
You
saying-
know what, Opal? Don't tell me, because if Pred's concerned, I'm concerned.
I was just more caught off guard by it.
Okay.
Honestly, good
I
for
was
you,
caught off
Opal.
guard by it.
Again, I have no issue speaking with the marshals. So we'll go down that route. Realistically,
Just be aware that they're going to try and manipulate you and change the narrative. They're not going to
I
be
don't
as
I
upfront
don't
with
care
you
what
as
the
they could.
narrative is, as long as I don't care about the painting that they're trying to paint in front. I just need the facts of what the fuck happened.
Make them read it to you.
No, Pred, that's why we're in this position.
One time I told Ruth, I'll give her my statement if she's the one that types it up.
Oh my god.
I'd say, I have no problem giving you my statement, but you're going to be the one to type it up.
So Tim Littleman does that to me, where I ask him to write a statement and he tells me he'd rather verbally tell it to me, but it's always funny when he does it, so I don't mind.
I think it's,
It's not
funny,
funny
when
when
they
I do it.
threaten. I think it's funny when they threaten the chief with conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice.
So, question. I know, obviously, I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of the marshals. But excluding Brian, and I know you hate Ruth, are there people that you can at least semi-see eye to eye with?
Nah, they're all dumb fucks, in my opinion. They're all
Okay.
stupid as shit.
Even
the fact
Aldo?
that even Aldo, yeah,
Yeah.
especially Aldo, I don't have any respect for soldiers.
Oh.
You know what I like about you people? You'll keep it straight with me. You'll tell me how it is. That's a hard thing to come by. That's one of the main reasons why you're in this fucking room. All right? But a lot of people in this world, in this life, will simply sit back, watch, and, they'll, hey, as long as it keeps me my job, I don't care.
That's
hey.
true. That is true. I tell people all the time, if you want to know if you look fat in that dress, ask me. I'll tell you. You got something stuck between your teeth? I will tell you. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like the people are gonna find out regardless. You know? If I'm talking shit about someone, they're likely gonna find out. Word spreads fast. Abdul is everywhere.
Let me take a look.
You good?
Checking my teeth.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Additionally, in case anyone is wondering, Pred put up the nomination for Angel. It also seems as though the DOJ is pretty much stacking their vote.
There's drama.
I think them nominating Angel 3 times is the equivalent of giving the weight of their vote.
Grayson.
Grayson. Is the equivalent of giving the weight of their vote 3 times as much.
Thing is, I don't want to lose Grayson. I will say this. I think Grayson is currently the best, best in the role. And I really do. And I don't want to see him disappear or be tossed to the wayside.
I agree.
So I kind of want us to talk to Angel and say, hey, look, you guys might have some might be going on between you two, but I think you need to make a good faith effort to rebuild that bridge and keep someone like that around you. Because one, the other people might just agree with you, but Grayson will let you know when he doesn't like something. You need people like that.
You need people who are going to be upfront.
Need people that are going to try and hold you accountable.
Listen, when Angel was here, my biggest thing was the conflict. Not just the conflict bit, because obviously there's more at play. But I think that conflict bit is going to play a huge role in getting these cases seen way sooner than they otherwise would. The whole general idea of only you can conflict yourself out of a case. I've said it before, but if in other places in the world, a judge can instruct a jury to specifically ignore something that was said, ignore a piece of evidence that they've already seen, why can't judges do the same?
They most certainly can, and that's kind of the way
they
things
can,
have to
but
be.
they don't.
In Los Santos, that is how it has to be, right? Like, they have to be like, I overheard something, but I have to ignore that and work based upon the facts that are presented in court. It's not that hard to be like, I overheard something that's kind of damning. Let me write this down so I know not like, let me ignore this. Let me write this down so I know to ignore this. I don't think it's really that difficult to not conflict yourself. And then in situations like that too, I mean, it might not be popular, but hey, guys, listen. We exist in a world where faceless assets and cop killers are deputy mayors, and hey, I think that a jury trial still might be worth doing. I honestly do. And if it turns out that the jury doesn't work,
around long enough to know.
Rhodes, it was one time. We both know it was one time.
It was not one time. It was not one time.
It was one time. It was literally one time. All right. It was one time. Chang Gang bought the goddamn jury. Other than that, jury trials were fantastic.
Right.
Look, I have no problem saying it. I have no problem saying it. I will say it.
Hey, listen, the possibility exists that it does end up happening. Okay, but just remember, Pred, if we go by any reasonable standard, it's only going to take a couple. And if, let's assume 5 people, you don't think one of them is going to sit there and, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. Just my personal stance. However, hey, listen, if Angel decides that's the route we go, that's the route we go. It is what it is.
Here's the thing, right? I think major trials get seen by a judge, right? Your HAG charges, your more severe charges, your more larger cases. But when it comes to a lot of these things, we could just default to jury. The judges could protect themselves, all right? Because let's be honest, judges get a lot of shit, all right? And, they could essentially, be the courtroom referees as the goddamn 2 attorneys from the opposing factions fight it out. And then it goes to the jury, and then they have 24 hours to render the verdict. And depending on the severity of the charges, the person goes up to Bolingbrook, or they're on some type of parole system, pending the conclusion of the of the jury.
You know what's crazy about all this? I think to myself, that's actually not a half bad idea. right? Like keep the serious cases to the judges, but the small little
Yeah.
cases hand to a jury. And then
Like
you
my
you,
case
you want to
yesterday.
know the first fucking thought that popped into my mind?
What's that, buddy?
Someone like Bobby Charles or Carmine gets on the jury. It's
Well,
fucking
that's-
over.
I think
That's the
Carmine would
beauty
be
of it.
great as a juror.
I bet he would too.
I bet you he'd be the lead juror, and he'd actually
bet
be
you
the
he'd-
good jury panel.
I bet you he would sit there and weigh how these people treated him and fucking Dogtown.
No, but that's like the game. Listen, I would like to sit on a jury even myself, because then the game becomes me convincing all these people why I'm right, and everyone else in the room needs to do what I want.
See, that and moderation, not the worst thing in the world. Unfortunately, that moderation won't exist. You got to look at the bigger picture, Pred. You got to look at the bigger picture. If it were just you, not the biggest deal in the world. In the slightest. Except it's going to happen to every case. I know I'm jumping, to conclusions. I'm just saying, it's been a little while since we ran around that track, but it got a bit of a track record.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, I gotta dip out.
I
Alright,
think
bye,
if
Mom.
you
Have a
made
good
him-
one.
See it. I think if you made him do like written justifications and stuff, it could work.
Yeah, I think like something like that is like, hey, listen, if you're going to be on the jury, you got to realize you're going to have to do you're going to have to do work. You know what I mean? That'll already dissuade the dumb fucks. And then if they ain't doing the work, one, they're never allowed to sit on a juror's panel again. And then two, we charge them. I mean, it could be a pretty simple process.
I'm not. You know what? That's actually not a half bad idea. A fairly hefty charge for fucking around as a juror.
I remember one time I was getting interviewed. I was a young man, and they were like, "Hey, so this Italian guy, he ran from he robbed this other Italian deli." And then I said, "Did you say Italian guy?" They told me to leave immediately. They have an interview process for all the jurors.
Exactly. Call in 20 people, interview them all. Wait for one guy to say something out of pocket, immediately kick him out.
Yeah, and then you
Man.
say this guy's not fit to ever sit on a jury panel.
If a person of this demographic is on trial.
I mean that.
Yeah,
But
we gotta watch out
that
for
is
that.
literally what happens, right? If like an insurance, let's assume an insurance company is being sued, the jurors are being asked shit like, "Have you ever had a claim denied?" Like, if the answer is yes, they're fucking
Yeah.
gone. They're biased. Except there's only so many times you can do that before you are out of the ability to
Honestly,
do so.
I think
Can I say
we
something out
do
of
that.
pocket?
Not if new people fly in specifically for juries.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Go ahead, Opal.
Can I say something fucked up
Go ahead.
Yeah.
out of pocket?
Uh-huh.
Well, if there's like a health insurance company being sued, you wouldn't put Luigi Mangione on the fucking jury.
True.
That's
That
true.
would be an atrocious strategy. But yeah, the reality is that is why the jurors are typically asked those questions
And
during
no
whatever
clowns.
process that is. Right? Like, if the case is about a fucking murder of a child, and someone has had someone in their family murdered, guess what? They're probably going to be considerably more understanding and in favor of the prosecution.
Or in this city, it's a cop that
Wrong.
got killed. You're probably not going to let the guy that killed a cop sit on
Exactly.
the fucking
Well,
jury.
I was gonna say the opposite. Have you ever been wronged by the police? The entire jury sends up and leaves.
All right, Your Honor, looks like it's up to you.
That's the one. All right, hold on. That's the one we're going to have to look past because, guys, let's be honest. All right. We exist in a world where everybody wants to hate us, finger point at us, try and, say shit about us. All right. That's the type of world that we live in. Unfortunately, that's what the hive mind wants. All right. So everybody hates us anyway. Hey, Even a lot of cops hate cops. You know,
True.
I think they'll be fine.
It's true.
But then eventually you're also able to kind of like, I'm a fan of you need to get people more involved in the process, right? Or you could even do pseudo kind of judicial and jury panels. Like you could kind of merge the things together in some regard so that, you know, the judge after the case is presented could be at, you know, with the jurors and, you know, hear what their thoughts and opinions because they're the peoples of the city. I mean, and they would have more of an influence on the case. Maybe they'd even point out things that the judge missed. You know, hey, who knows? But the thing is, though, desperately, what is always needed is a shakeup to some degree. We can't just sit back, do things the same way that we always have, and expect different fucking results and expect people not to be burnt out by it. The biggest, everything can be solved by just trialing things. And then if they don't work, you just don't do them. Or you tweak how they're done.
I agree. For
Like
me,
the vehicle seizure shit. Tried it, didn't work. Change it.
That
for
happened
me,
tons of times now, and because that shit is fucking stupid. Because they get rid of the VAF system, but then they say you're basically doing the VAF system anyway, right? And it's all because they don't want to be the people to put a target on their back, taking one of these rich gang members with 50-member gangs vehicles because they'll put a target on them. You know, so it's their own issues, kind of like. That's why I kind of think you do these more. You have these jurors show up in masks. Nobody knows who they are. They don't know who the fucking go after. What are they going to do? Wait outside of the courthouse? We'll take them all to the airport. You know.
It's probably the only way to work is if it was no one was aware of who it was.
Yeah, I mean that's how it would have to. I mean that's how it would have to operate. Or who knows? I mean, but we are kind of talking about something that I'm passionate about that I don't think we're going to have too much influence on, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Right now,
Jury stuff was cool though.
I agree.
I think the LSPD is in a pretty good spot, but we do got to find out who this fucking dumbass was that got rolled up on by people screaming for help while they're being shot at and did nothing. You know, and we gotta prune some of the goddamn weeds out of the LSPD. Because one dumb fuck does one dumb fucking thing, all of a sudden, everybody's pointing the finger at us saying we're all dumb fucks.
That is true.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get them. They were very positive towards the PD. Now, if there's anybody you don't want to piss off, it's the people in charge of the only news station in the city.
I think they were manipulated because here's the thing. I told Skinner that he can call me up anytime and I'll give him a statement. Skinner hasn't really called me in a month. And
please check your missed calls just to make sure.
I have been.
Okay, all right.
And it seems like Skinner is really on board with the Brian Knight Express. All right. I'm not going to pretend. Listen, guys, look. Brian Knight is really good at manipulating everybody around him. All right, he surrounds himself with a bunch of drones down at the marshal's office that are never going to tell him what he's doing is fucking wrong. Okay? And also, on top of that, all right, this guy's been puppeting everyone around him ever since I've known him. All right, so this is not something new. This is how it is. And you guys need to be aware of this. All right? Opal, I know you work with them. That's fine. All right? I get it. You like doing your investigations. Yeah, you guys, look, well, it's because you guys are in situations where, unfortunately, you have to work with them. Right? I'm not going to intervene on that despite how I feel, but you need to start telling these people that they need to start talking to me. That's what your guys' job is. You need to say, hey, this is something the chief needs to know about. This is fucked up. You know? You guys kind of need to step up and understand that you guys need to start taking charge for your chief. You need to tell them they need to approach me, that they need to call me.
Fred, I can handle that portion.
Rhodes, listen, I'm not going to be sidestepped by these people anymore. I do want you involved as well, but I refuse to be skipped. I refuse to be sidestepped. All right? And plus, if you guys tell them, hey, they need to fucking talk to me, and then they don't, then you'll truly see that there is a bias. And I'm the chief of police. All right, if they want me gone, they can. Hey, listen. Unfortunately, if they want me gone, they're going to have to work for it.
There's a way
Because I
around
can't
that.
be
I
left out of the process.
I both love and hate you sometimes.
Well, I mean, we got to
That's
do
why
what we
this
got to
works.
do, Rhodes. Yeah, I mean, you're my partner for life.
What stops
Fired.
you
Thanks
from
for the
creating
TP.
a
Appreciate it.
position above chief of police?
Mm,
You
We
go to
have
that, and then
had
Rhodes
this-
goes to the chief of police, and then it doesn't matter who becomes chief of police.
We've
doesn't-
already considered.
That doesn't work, does it?
Well,
The wording is still
so-
that they have oversight.
For marshals specifically, yes, but specific to the issue of potential change in high command, we did run this idea, right? Because hypothetically, I know we're sort of off topic, but hypothetically, if we wanted to make the rank of corporal right now, there's nothing preventing us from doing so, right? Because we determine our internal structure. We set a position above chief of police. I mean, a commissioner, for example, as a hypothetical, what would be the ruling on that?
I mean, it's not defined in our constitution.
I think the
No,
governor would
so-
step in, to be honest, guys.
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, at this point,
Do you think the governor would sit there and go, "Yeah, I think it's great every 90 days that the high command changes"? It's ass.
I mean, he would have said that already, no? If he
Wait,
thought
I
that.
thought that's what happened. Didn't someone say they tried making it so that mayors have no influence and governor stepped in? I swear someone said this like last week.
I don't know the details behind that. What I will say is, to this day, not a single person has challenged the mayor's authority to remove someone from the position when it's not vacant. I've always been of the mindset that their legal arm to remove a chief of police who's previously appointed is an ACR/impeachment.
I don't think we even have the authority to put someone in a position like that. Like, how would we even do that? Because how would we put someone above us, but not involve this? It just
Well,
wouldn't work.
the thing is it's not. It's still within our department. I don't know. It's tricky. It is
I
something
think
to
that-
consider if it gets to that point, but I think the more appropriate route is, and I thought Turner was going to do this, but he didn't, unfortunately,
Is this contesting?
is Pred will 100% contest it. And I know Pred will because Pred likes to fight for the sake of fighting.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing though too. I'm not a fan of us trying to abuse a broken system, trying to change things as like that's something that looks like a power grab. We already have everything we need.
Agreed.
All right, we just need to work together. It's that simple. All right. You don't get anything done by in life. All
Be
right.
careful with what you say,
gotta-
Pred.
Well, I mean, it's as simple. In life, you have people that you are maybe 100% don't like working with. All right. I had this in the past with Bass and Toretti. All right. Rhodes was there. All right. I still worked with these people.
I do miss Toretti.
I miss Toretti too. I do, I still work with these people. These people still talk to me. These people, I mean, listen, me and Bass weren't buddies. I did try to kill him numerous times. But he still sat me down and talked to me. Where things kind of get fucked up is when you take a certain person or department and you put them on a pedestal and assert them, ascend them rather to a position above.
Higher again. Thank you for the 200
It
biddies. I
doesn't work
appreciate it.
because of shit just like this, because of exactly what's happening now. I'm the chief of police, but I might as well just be a fucking officer.
Listen,
It didn't work before, Rhodes. It ain't gonna work now. And especially when there's an obvious bias and vendetta. But I'm sure we got other stuff that we can talk on now because I want to get out there for a little bit. So
I was just about to
what-
say the same thing.
What is there anything that you guys want to do, that you need, any questions that you have? Because I want to get us operating. All right, How's hiring going?
Oh,
How's
real
the
quick,
cases going?
I was approached by JJ because they have the legislative meeting or whatever later today, and wanted to know if there were any points of contention with current pieces of legislation and whether or not anything needs to be rewritten.
Oh, I actually
Right
spoke
back,
to
guys.
Ruby about the fucking mess that we had at the last one, where they were like Ruby saying this and that officers
Yeah.
are charging twice. That is not actually at all true whatsoever. This was back when I think
Who would
Turner
have guessed?
was chief. And it kind of fell in her lap when she was chief for like 9 days. They basically wrote a piece of legislation, because they were told by DOJ that the charge possession of a tampered firearm falls under offenses involving fraud, and criminal possession of a firearm class 1 or a firearm class 2, class 3 falls under like offenses involving persons or some shit like that. I don't fucking remember. And so Falconer apparently said that you can and probably should charge both at the same time, which Ruby said, well, that, like, whoever it was said, that sounds fucked up. So they wrote legislation so that that doesn't happen. And this was like 3 months ago, and they still haven't heard anything back from the DOJ. So she was asking what was going on with that. She never at one point said that officers were charging both. They were told by DOJ that they could and probably should do both.
Got
So
it.
the
So just to,
DOJ
they
created
have
their own problem.
So
Yeah.
just to verify though, they are aware of this. Like all the sitting justices at the moment are aware.
I don't know, which is why I think we should
'Cause
bring
it
it
sound-
back up, right? Because we spoke about it the last time, and everyone was like, kind of like, no one like corrected us on this thing, and they just let us fight it out with Lexi Law.
I mean, is this something that we push when there's a chief justice? When there's sort of a new set of eyes to look into it? Uh-oh.
Huh.
They got
Go
it.
deal with
A lot of
that.
Class 2 fire.
I think that's
check
class
on
1.
it.
I'm of the opinion
Shots outside
that
MRPD.
Right, King?
Near Center Street.
Got him.
What happened?
King got
Oh,
it.
they're
We had a
They're
duel,
down.
and I won.
Oh.
code 4 at MRPD.
All right.
What happened?
You better get him to hospital.
Oh no.
Code 4. 245 has won a duel against. I can't remember his name.
That's
Okay.
so
He's a
cool.
gunslinger, and he beat me in a duel during a situation the other day, and he came to PD to try and resolve it. He failed.
Okay, it's all sorted.
Oh, sorted. Okay.
good work, everybody. Good work. Did you kill him? Did you kill him? They
Fucking
dead?
got him. Yeah, won the
All right,
duel,
good.
sir.
Good work. Good work.
We are 1-1 officially.
Please, does that mean there's a tiebreaker?
Anybody at that on the way to that Fleeca robbery?
I don't know yet. I'll be
I hope
honest.
not. Let's see.
Are we actually leaving?
Looks, I think majority's on the Joe right now. Is there 76 to that Fleeca? At least help with the hostage.
You're 90, 10, 8. Hmm. 9076 to the Fleeca Legion.
Alright, guys, whoever's at the jewelry store, let's go channel 2, channel 2, channel 2, channel 2.
Can you just get the vehicle?
Yep.
Take photos. I'll negotiate.
Betty Brisket sells me guns.
How we doing? How we doing?
Good.
What's going on in here, guys? Oh, a quick withdrawal. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sir in the Santa hat, are you okay?
That's not what I meant to do.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Have you been harmed in any way? Got it. You got it. You need any food or drink or anything like that? Tickety boo. All right. It's just the three of you guys. Security guy just sitting on his ass doing nothing. See him? Okay, all right. What can I do to make sure I get the hostage out here safe and sound? What do you guys think?
Positioning's a bit rough. R6VC 12H 8. No.
Can I get a gun?
VC. Wait.
I'm always late. I grind my teeth.
Wait.
Stress. It's awful.
We try getting a gun? We get a gun too?
And this would be paradise if it weren't for all the fucking people. Absolutely. We'll talk later.
All right, I've got photos, plates unflagged.
Need a gun, and I need Opal to see Jack Frost.
Not sure Opal's
Or
even on duty.
Frosty the Snowman.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
Opal is.
Just a heads up, there's seemingly 2 individuals from Hydra, or Hydra affiliation that got out in cuffs. So keep that in mind.
No, sir.
He wakes up and comes all the time.
I'm not doing it. I just started not too long ago.
He sells me guns all the time. All the time.
They're not gonna kill you. No, these guys seem way too nice. Way too nice.
We'll kill him. We'll kill him with kindness.
Oh, that didn't even. Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. Okay. All right. So you guys are looking for the Los Santos special, yeah? And a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holiday on the way out. Are you guys all ready to go? Definitely does not sound like it. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me do this. Just leave the hostage alone. Don't do anything, sir. If you need anything, just let me know. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and relay this to my officers out here, and then when you guys are ready to go, we'll get that going. Okay. Perfect. All right. Cool.
We got 3 suspects at the Fleeca here. They're just looking for the Los Santos special. They have about another 2 minutes.
You firm? Class 1s or 2?
Class 1s. I'll take the hostage. We want to do 465 can be primary, and then SUV if you want to be secondary, and then I'll
Hey,
catch
firm.
up.
Yeah, right.
Any of you guys double up?
Negative.